Welcome to a brand new episode of the Jampack Report today for June the 4th of 2020. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams, and this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry. Hosted on YouTube and podcast services around the world 5 days a week, it is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. And for the Electronic Arts fans out there who are playing on PC, I have some very good news because a lot of EA games have made their way to Steam today, and EA Access is now officially coming later this summer. The two companies, of course, Electronic Arts and Valve, announced their partnership last year, bridging the gap between them and allowing EA titles to be released on Steam's store. It also was revealed that EA Access, their subscription-based service which allows players access to a library of games, would be coming to Steam. EA has announced that as of today, June the 4th, over 25 games would be available to purchase on Steam. In a press release, Mike Blank, EA's Senior Vice President of Player Networks, stated that, quote, "We want to make it easy to play the games you love wherever you want to play. Delivering games to the Steam community is an important step in achieving this goal," end quote. He then went on to mention the integration of EA Access into Steam by saying that, quote, "Not only are we excited to have our games on Steam, but we look forward to bringing them even more value when our subscription becomes available this summer." Award-winning RPG series Dragon Age sees Dragon Age Inquisition and Dragon Age 2 as some of the games available. Alongside these are multiple titles from the highly popular Need for Speed series, such as Need for Speed Rivals and the recently released Need for Speed Heat. There are plans for further games to be added over the summer. However, there is no specific release date for when EA Access will be available on Steam outside of a general summer release date, which is a bit unfortunate. It would have been nice to see a definitive release date for EA Access, which of course provides plenty of value in a way similar to Xbox Game Pass or perhaps the Uplay subscription that I believe has a similar name. These are becoming relatively common in the world of gaming, especially on PC. But of course, for those that have been in the PC gaming space for quite some time, Origin has been the hub for Electronic Arts games. From Anthem to Battlefield and everything in between, that's where you went to play the biggest games from Electronic Arts, especially those that have been released in roughly the past 10 years or so. Now, of course, as a PC player, I didn't have any problem with having multiple launchers that kind of divided up all of my games because they're all still on my PC, and these launchers are all free. But there is a level of inconvenience that comes with having your games in 5 different places. Now, tools have come and gone that have addressed this issue. Discord had once hosted a feature that allowed you to launch games from any launcher within the world of Discord. And of course, you have stuff like GOG Galaxy 2.0 that is accomplishing that goal as well. But to be able to unify your library and have everything that you own on Steam, or any other service to be quite frank, would probably be the goal. I think from a console perspective, whenever you log onto a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, you don't have to worry about where your games are. They're all on your console. They're all right there. And so to be able to replicate that on PC is something that Steam has been largely able to control over the past 20 years or so. But as more of these launchers and storefronts have cropped up, it has been a bit challenging, especially for those that want to play big AAA games, because you never know where those are going to end up, especially if they're coming from Ubisoft or EA or even within Valve itself. You never really can tell. But it is good to see that 25 games from EA are coming to Steam, and with EA Access coming this summer, I have a feeling we'll be talking about this even more. Now, this is a follow-up from a story we talked about yesterday. This is the first look at the new Xbox Series X storefront. Now, this video goes in depth into what we can see so far, but a digital storefront leak is not the sexiest type of next-gen rumor, but it is a leak nonetheless. Thurrott has given its hands on a leaked, gotten? There we go. Thurrott has gotten its hands on a leaked build of the new Xbox Series X store, which is purportedly codenamed Project Mercury. Again, we talked about this on yesterday's episode of the Jampack Report. Originally thought to be an overhaul of the Windows Store PC app, it is now believed to be the store that will ship on the Xbox Series X operating system, and consequently it will also be rolling out to the world of Xbox One. But if you did want to look and see what some of these features were, of course, a very streamlined store page for each individual game that then loads and gives you the purchase options, as well as access to the various styles of the game that you can get. Now, returning to the home page, you do have access to every big part of the Xbox ecosystem in one screen. You have Game Pass, top paid games, top free games, and a search navigation, which I think is a pretty streamlined functionality. On the side here, you can see that there's a profile, or I suppose that you can't considering the way that I cropped the camera, but on the side you do have a profile picture, then the search bar, then what looks to be perhaps a deals tag, then games, then movies, then I believe that might be, I'm not sure what that one is, but you can find more information on the official video, which I have, of course, linked in the article, which I have linked down below. And so you have plenty of options here. It actually looks like that may be access to a variety of streaming services according to this video. So you can get, looks like Disney Plus, Air Server, ESPN, all housed on this one individual app, which is shaped like a TV icon. Then when it comes to the actual console itself, it looks like this is where you can actually purchase the various consoles, which you can do from the Xbox One currently. So if you needed a new controller or you wanted to design your own, it looks like that option is still maintaining its place in the Xbox Store, which is kind of shocking. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have ever actually purchased an accessory directly through the Windows Store or the Xbox Store on an Xbox One console. Very interesting to see that feature sticking around. Now you do have Spotify and various music services and subscriptions that you can see here. The biggest free stuff, of course, is listed. But as they go on, they go very in-depth into the overall breakdown. And of course, this is not confirmed yet. This is just a teaser. But looking at the UI and looking at the layout of the overall video, it seems that this is built around a controller being used. It certainly makes sense whenever you look at how everything is laid out. So I would be a supporter of this move. And right now, the Xbox One store, as well as the PlayStation 4 store, is incredibly broken. It just doesn't function the way that it needs to function, especially considering that is how people get access to the games that their consoles can play. It really should be better than it is. And so hopefully this will roll out over the summer, but at the very least, I think you are going to be seeing this Project Mercury hit whenever the new generation console launches later this fall. But I wouldn't even be shocked to see it coming out around August or September at the latest. But that's just my 2 cents. In between now and then, Fortnite's new season will launch, but not as soon as we hoped. Fortnite has moved, I should say, its upcoming live story event and new season clear of this weekend and next week, respectively. In a blog post published last night, Epic Games announced it had postponed its, quote, The Device event until Monday, the 15th of June, and Chapter 2 Season 3 to Wednesday, the 15th of June. Let's go ahead and talk about these dates, Eurogamer, shall we? So Monday, the 15th, I don't think that exists. One of these is not like the other. So Monday is in fact the 15th. Chapter 2 Season 3 has been moved to Wednesday, if this date is correct, the 17th, not the 15th, because time travel is impossible. However, the reasoning is very sound. Quote, recent events are a heavy reminder of ongoing injustices in society, from the denial of basic human rights to the impact of racism, both overt and subtle, against people of color, Epic Games wrote. We are acutely aware of the pain our friends, families, team members, players, and communities are experiencing. We believe in equality and justice, diversity and inclusion, and that these fundamentals are above politics. The team is eager to move Fortnite forward, but we need to balance the Season 3 launch with time for the team to focus on themselves, their families, and their communities. We know this delay comes on the heels of another one, and we appreciate your patience and understanding during these difficult times. End quote. So as I've been saying all week, this is something that is to be expected from a lot of big gaming companies, whether it be developers, publishers, or anything in between, because this is the right thing to do. This is the moment that we're living in, and the next season of Fortnite isn't nearly as important as the events that are currently unfolding in our society. So this is ultimately a push of just about a week or so. And again, if you do want to dive in, Chapter 2 Season 3 now launches on Wednesday the 17th, and of course, the Device event is going to be held on Monday, the 15th of June, which is not that long of a time to wait. If you're upset about this, you have a deeper problem to address within your own soul. But Project Cars 3 has gotten an official reveal trailer that signals a change in direction. Could you say it's doing a burnout, maybe a little 180 to get away from the... I tried to do a driving joke there, it didn't really land, did it? But Project Cars 3 is real, and it was quietly announced overnight. Slightly Mad and Codemasters have announced Project Cars 3, a seemingly much expanded sequel. The game is coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One later this summer. From the official website, Project Cars 3 looks to be taking the game in a bit of a different direction. There is greater emphasis on a car collecting and car customization area, two areas the original games rarely focus on. The site confirms over 200 race and road cars and over 140 tracks. The trailer shows off some of those too, with noticeably more street circuits compared to Project Cars' usual run of official race tracks. We also get a brief look at customization with different rims and liveries, I don't know what that is, seen applied to a Mercedes AMG. Project Cars 3 also lets you upgrade the performance of cars. Those, along with all of the other visual customization options, are unlocked through credits earned from racing. The official announcement made a point to highlight that the game will offer, quote, fully scalable assist for all skill levels and an upgraded controller experience. Likewise, career mode is getting revamped into a more engaging weekend warrior to racing legend setup, and you can find the full reveal trailer in the video below. Now, looking at this from a first glance kind of perspective, it is very clear they are trying to go for a different audience with this entry in the world of Project Cars, because it looks more like Forza Horizon than it does Forza Motorsport, and that's kind of the difference between the games that we've seen before and this new entry. Now, for those that aren't familiar with the Forza franchise, basically Forza Horizon is your street racing, and then Forza Motorsport is more of your planned route kind of circuit racing that you would get from a regular racing setup, something that's more sport-based instead of more fun street race-based. And both are fine options, but it's a distinctly different vibe. It's a distinctly different setup in terms of gameplay and in terms of what players expect. And so it looks like Forza, I'm just kidding, it's not Forza, Project Cars 3 is shaping up to be more of a Forza Horizon blended with Forza Motorsport in a way, but certainly more street racing. And I'm excited to see where this one goes. Now, this is not something that was announced overnight. This is actually something that we knew was coming. This game has been in existence for a while. I believe that it was officially announced somewhere in the mix of that Xbox Series X gameplay reveal, which was not really gameplay, but everybody knew Project Cars 3 was coming, at least to my knowledge. I know that I was aware of that for some reason or another. I'm pretty sure it was that Xbox reveal. But regardless, in terms of racing games, Project Cars looks to be a pretty good one. The former games in the series have been given away for free, I believe, as part of PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold, or both at one point or another. But if you do want to dive in, the game should launch this fall on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One later this summer. Excuse me, not this fall, this summer. Later this summer, and then this fall on the next generation of consoles. But hey, looks pretty good. Now, to round out today's show, Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning will be remastered this year. I might have said that incorrectly, but I feel compelled to talk about this game because so many people have been absolutely thrilled about this getting a remaster. Amalur was originally released for Xbox 360, PS3, and PC to favorable reviews. The RPG features a world created by best-selling author R.A. Salvatore, Spawn creator Todd McFarlane, and Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion lead designer Ken Rolston. The new version of Amalur will feature improved visual fidelity, refined gameplay, and include all of the original game's DLC packs, according to a listing on the Microsoft Store, which has been confirmed to be real. So shortly after the original game's released, developer Big Huge Games and its parent company 38 Studios laid off their entire staff after defaulting on loans provided by Rhode Island State. 38 Studios' collapse meant that pre-production on a sequel was scrapped, as well as what's reported to have been a significant amount of work dedicated to Project Copernicus, the Kingdoms of Amalur MMO. Kingdoms of Amalur MMO, I should say. The rights to Kingdoms of Amalur was, I don't know why I'm like blending all of that together. Kingdoms of Amalur were acquired by THQ Nordic in 2018, and the company indicated its intention to release a remaster, but said it would need approval of the original publisher, EA, first. And it looks like they got it. So if you do want to check out Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, it is going to be launching later this year, supposedly on the PS3, Xbox One, or excuse me, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. But I wouldn't be shocked to see this one come to the Xbox Series X and PS4 as well, or PS5. There are too many consoles, man. There's so many names. But it should be coming to the next gen as well, especially with backwards compatibility being what it is. But excited to see this one. I might dive in. Over the past few months, I've been getting more into RPGs than I ever have before in my life. It's been a situation where I kind of transitioned from being primarily arcade / first-person shooter based to now playing tons of RPGs and stuff that takes, 50 or 60 hours to complete. It's a different change of pace, but I think I'm enjoying it, and I might enjoy Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning, which I will have to give a look whenever we get an official announcement with a release trailer, or perhaps seeing some kind of gameplay shared online. But that rounds out today's episode of the Jampack Report. If you enjoyed this one, drop me a like down below and let me know what you think about everything we talked about on today's show. How do you feel about EA games finally coming to Steam? Would you be looking into buying a game on the Project Mercury version of the Xbox Store? How do you feel about Fortnite's season being delayed and Project Cars 3? What do you think? Also, did you play Kingdoms of Amalur? Would love to hear your thoughts. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. I'll talk to you soon, and peace.